Everybody, we are live for a 4-day delayed cast of Albert's Inferno versus Qualmless Chillers. Apologies for a bit of a delay there, but hey, you get a cast with two casters, so that's something at least. But
That is something.
yeah, I am joined by Bean as my co-caster for this one.
Hello.
Are you excited for this one? I have not actually looked too much about the games. I logged them, but I somehow wiped it from my memory, so I do not
Yeah.
know what specifically happens in these games.
So I also have not spoiled myself. The only thing I do know is that there were two games because I do have the drafts pulled up just so I can see what their game plan was. So I'm sure it was a 2-0 for Albert's Infernos. Uh,
Hey, you're fucking selling, dude.
but
Spoiler free cast. It's okay. I feel like if you
spoiler,
don't
oh
know what
shoot.
happens 4 days ago, like
It
I don't know,
was four
you
days
must
ago.
live in a hole. But anyway, I'll run
Uh,
through the highlights real quick. Brian actually is playing top lane for them this series. I don't know if this is Brian's first team format game or not, but I think definitely his first top lane team format game. Don't want to swear by that though. But what I actually found out that was interesting is that actually Brian's been playing with this group of people for quite some time. Just only joined Scrims recently, so this 5-man roster is actually like the core of the friend group as far as I know, and I think this actually is Brian's first team format game. So that's something to look forward to. Has played 14 different champions in 16 games in signups leading up to this. This is probably going to include this series actually, so I'm going to skip over some of the assets here, but I'll try to get our key players in here. But
and like since we already have gone through like draft phase and everything, I think like all teams are always exciting to see how things will go down. I do think that QC is a very spooky team to have to go against for a good reason. I think our team managed to beat them by the advantage of being the first weak team, and they were not running maybe the best rosters, or at least the rosters that we were familiar with yet, and when they weren't familiar with us. And even then, they were very scary to play against. The game, like especially in like our game one, to recall that, we had to lock in a lot in order to beat the team. So I think regardless of like who they're running, they're always going to have to be a team that you're gonna have to keep an eye out for. Uh,
yeah, for sure.
and to
In
mention
this
like
game, they actually are running Drakkar, who's the featured player for Qualmless Chillers. 72 games played in the server, 40 champions across that, which is pretty huge considering I think most of those games have been in the same role. 58% win rate is pretty solid, and a 4.32 KDA also definitely up there. I think any of the other assets I flip through are going to just completely spoil everything, so I'm going to kick it over to draft if you want to share any thoughts on that. We don't get to watch it flip through slowly, unfortunately, but here is the game one draft. And once we're done analyzing this, we can just hop into game.
so the first thing I noticed is that there is no response from QC to the Smolder Janna like for second pick. So or actually no, they're on blue side. So they first picked Smolder. So actually I'm wrong because they responded to the Vayne. Uh and I immediately noticed that they left Zed up while banning three other assassins.
Yeah.
So I guess you can only choose so many assassins of the group. Um,
Yeah, actually,
so they
two of
responded
them.
Zed and Vayne, and we
Yeah,
know that
two of them targeted
Drakkar.
towards Rat specifically, which I think is interesting. I think most teams have been tending to ban out Drakkar's pool. Um, so seeing them prioritize I guess Kiana's for both of them.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say
Kiana's kind of the freebie where you hit both of them, and then we're not seeing two jungle bans, I guess. It's kind of just a Kha'Zix summon for Zed. So I don't know. I kind of ate my words there a little. But
yeah, I was gonna
anyway,
say Kha'Zix
I'm just
is on there. I think that's a
sleepy.
jungler,
Yeah, I
but
forgot that Kiana can jungle.
right, I get that. And what I was saying when I first like started mentioning the draft, I noticed that they drafted Janna Echo after their first set, and they decided to wait for the support pick until round until round 4. And
Yeah,
so
and I
that
I think Echo coming out here is kind of interesting because I don't believe we've seen either Albert or Omar play Echo before. And I think QC in that position almost definitely did not know who it was going into. So I think that's a cool pickup from Inferno. The Galio coming in does, I believe, do pretty well into the Echo, but also just a safe blind pick for, I guess Paul M ended up being the one playing it, but I'm sure any player on this team could pilot the Galio. Maybe even Chow could flex it top lane. So very good open pick from QC there.
definitely have to agree. Um, and the next response to that is Cassiopeia. I don't really know anything in particular about those matchups, and unfortunately, I do not know too much
Oh,
about
real
either
real quick
team's
before we
player-wise.
skip to that, I think the second phase bans are super interesting. Nautilus and Amumu coming out as bans into QC are pretty surprising because I don't think we've seen uh, those champs really be played by anyone over there. If you're assuming it's not Paul support, then the Thresh probably would be top of the list for me personally, just because that's Kage's best support. So I guess they're probably just good matchups into the Janna that Jeremy didn't want to deal with. Blitzcrank probably in the same vein though, and probably a little worse to deal with. But yeah, Cassio Galio is not a matchup I know either.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that to attention because I do very much enjoy Janna. Um, so I do think those support bans are a little bit suspect, but especially if it were to be like a Blitzcrank over these other two options, like
Yeah.
I would have to agree that I would choose to ban Blitzcrank over Nautilus and Amumu like a million times if I'm playing Janna, just because like unlike Amumu and Nautilus, they both have to go into you, which is exactly what you want when you're playing a champion like Janna, because you have the disengage in your kit to prevent like any sort of like hard engage from these supports. Whereas Blitzcrank just pulls you straight into him, and that's like the exact opposite of what you want.
Yeah.
Um, and so I do definitely disagree with the support bans, but at the same time, it also is a matter of who someone is comfortable playing up against. So, I mean, if Jeremy thought that he wasn't comfortable against these champions, I mean, that's a good choice for him to make.
Yeah, and just real quick to cover the rest of the draft, I think Blind Pick Renekton isn't exactly anything crazy. Hopefully it's a comfortable champion for Brian. I don't think we've seen too much of his top lane, so I'm not terribly sure. Malphite, I feel like, isn't a great champion in this composition, but good enough matchup into Renekton, and you just kind of want any sort of engaged tank for top, so it doesn't matter that much. Is worth noting that Albert's Inferno's kind of Echo Flex threat worked. We see a jungler and a mid laner band out there. I do think it's interesting how low the Lilia priority has fallen for Albert. I feel like it's one of his best champions, and we don't even see it at all in this draft, but maybe the Echo is just a better matchup into the Zed. So I think I vote we just hop on the Rift and see how this plays out.
I definitely agree.
Okay, if it will let me see it. There we go. Oh, I should definitely hide the time controls considering they spoil everything about the game. Luckily, I had
It's
the
all right, I already
scoreboard
did
pulled
that.
up already, so they were kind of hidden, but whoopsies.
It's okay.
Yeah, we are seeing
Have the
the
stellar
like
this time.
fleet echo build. I don't know if that's just always what you take on it. I don't know. I'm not really a echo connoisseur, but if we do see the tank echo build come out that Mason's been prioritizing, I think that could be interesting. I don't expect
Yeah.
too much early action. I feel like if you were expecting anything in the early levels, it would be them grouping up with the Blitzcrank. This ward from Paul M is very solid. I feel like normally you expect the mid laners to know all about it, but a support player, generally pretty good word knowledge too, so not super surprising to see that come out.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious about the like stack that they chose to do right at the start of the game. I also think it's interesting that Blitzcrank chose not to invade. I feel like if I'm walking in Blitzcrank, like 90% of the time I'm saying, all right, we're gonna walk into their jungle.
Yeah, I'm wondering
It
if
don't
QC
matter.
is just a little confident and they're like, if we just play the game safe, don't flip anything, we'll probably just end up winning. I don't hate that approach from them, honestly.
I mean, I don't either, but it's content.
Yeah. I do think it's very exciting that, I mean, Hong Baba is obviously the player that Albert's Inferno is going to want to play through in most of their games. And the fact that they've gotten him on basically the top champion in the Scrim Zone meta right now, I think Yunara is the only one that's like otherwise as contested, I think is pretty interesting. So I guess we'll have to see how he performs. I think it's going to be pretty tough too into like Malphite, Galio, Zed. Blitzcrank and Vayne I feel like are a little more flippy on how reliable they can get engages onto the Smolder, but everyone else is pretty point and click on your head.
Right. I mean, I could
be tough.
I could see it going either way. Just because on Smolder, he has the ability to build a little bit like stronger with a little bit more HP and survivability because he's able to get his damage from his passive. And I also think Hong is able to play very well on scaling carries. I mean, we've seen it in the past.
Yeah, I mean, and we saw 3 bans coming out towards Hong. The Aphelios is probably not one of the ones I would have predicted. Jinx and Yunara do make sense. Brian out trading in the top lane really well, pressuring this matchup very solidly. I don't think there's kill threat yet, just because the trades have been pretty short, but did want to shout that out. But Chao's been doing a great job of keeping up in CS. Almost got a lead there with that last minion dying to tower.
It's a single minion.
How do you know? Maybe that minion was dating someone and now is killed.
I like to think that they just like constantly refresh. Yeah, they die and they're like in a never-ending torture.
I was gonna say
they never get the opportunity to have a family because they just they're eternally stuck to just dying on repeat.
Dude, maybe minions are just like squirrels playing League of Legends, and when they queue up, they just spawn in as a minion and have to walk to lane and die, and then that's it.
Does not sound like a very good game, I'm gonna be honest.
Hey, if they get to be the one to take a tower or kill a champion, their like fucking year is made, you know? Omar also trading really well. The solo laners for Inferno having a super solid start to this game. And bot lane has also been slightly in Inferno's favor, which I think means that the eye should be on the jungle, but engages are coming out now. Hong is getting hooked, gets 3-tapped by the Vayne, falls down super low. The Ignite is not going to be enough to kill. The flash from Vayne almost was enough, but heal barrier coming through actually is going to keep Teddy alive there, and the bot lane of Qualmless is just going to have to retreat. That is 3 summoner spells burned from both sides, but I think advantage going over to QC there.
Absolutely. With how, like, even with top lane and mid being able to trade the way they have been, bot lane is just going to be super volatile solely because of that Blitzcrank. I mean, every single hook he lands is just going to be a death sentence for whoever gets.
Omar might be able to get this. Falling down super low. The taunt is going to come through, and that is first blood going over to Paul M. Really well played there. That one was super close. Cassio had hit the Q and was going for it, but really good call from Paul to engage there instead of trying to disengage.
The tier tax showing its power.
Truly.
I think with the Doran's ring, he may have been able to win that trade.
I don't think so, because I think he would have been out of mana.
You think so? I don't know.
Yes, it's Cassio.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, Albert actually was even on CS with Drakkar, just chose to make an earlier back. The hook is missing though, and Albert's now here. Kage is probably gonna get stunned up by the Echo. Actually narrowly does not get it. Goes for the 3-hit passive, and I don't think it's gonna be enough, but now Drakkar is here. Has a bit of a stronger inventory with the later back, and now they're trying to retreat, but Albert pretty low, but they should just be able to kite this out. Neither gank really to much success in the bot lane. Neither jungler really committed too much though. Both of them still have their flashes available for their next gank or the dragon fight.
One thing to mention too is you're definitely seeing like the comfort Drakkar has on his Zed champion. I mean that character in the jungle, like one of his biggest buffs is the ability to clear his camp so fast, and you already see that right now. Like all of his camps are gone. He is just eons above Echo already. He had that level lead in the bot gank. Like that is going to definitely be impactful, and you see it right now. His camps aren't up, and he may even be able to invade Echo here,
or walk up and force a play on the Renekton. Brian's getting the wave shoved in. Looks like Drakkar is just going to take the scuttle and head back into his jungle, which is heavily warded out by... looks like Omar was able to get one of the wards, and you can't check who owns the control, but...
Yeah, I think the only way you can do it is by knowing ward skins.
Yeah. And Brian, trading really well into Chow again, has just had the upper hand this entire matchup. And I feel like something that a lot of teams struggle with into QC is just not having enough vision and like losing track of where Drakkar is. And the fact that Alberts has done a good job of doing that jungle tracking, I think has allowed them to play more aggressively and maintain leads in their lanes. Definitely kept Teddy and Jeremy alive there.
I think the pressure... Seeing Renekton be in trouble, though. Oh.
Yeah, it looks like he's just taking a base. Again, I think the vision really did help there. They knew Drakkar was on the top side, and he decided not to go for a dive or anything.
It was usually the optimal choice.
Yeah. It's now just TPing right on Malphite's head, though. And more pings coming down right onto to Drakkar's head. They definitely know where he is. Paul now going in, is going to find the taunt onto Cassiopeia. Takes a tower shot, though, is not winning out on that trade damage-wise, but does get the wave shoved in. The hook misses, and that might be crucial. Kage is going to get out here, and Rat not able to pop the 3-hit on anyone. Has to force a condemn onto Teddy to try and get out. Trades slightly in favor of Inferno, but I don't think they're going to be able to find a kill here, especially with Vayne hitting 6.
Just kind of like watching how they're going with the bot lane. It seems so aggressive. Like it's funny because my heart is like I want, if I were the blue side bot lane right now, I would just try to go so hard on Vayne and try to just kill her for playing so aggressive, queuing forward. But maybe I'm just like overestimating how much damage Smolder and
yeah, I think the problem is just if you commit to it, Vayne just pops R and Qs and you have no vision, and Blitzcrank can just kind of ward you off.
Maybe. Yeah,
but, I mean, Albert's just able to pick up grubs uncontested here. Drakkar's in the mid lane, and I mean, you have a 20 CS lead, but you haven't really gotten any objective pressure over it. First drag is still up, so I honestly like the position Inferno's in right now. And they're looking for a gank top lane. Chow overextending a little bit, has already used the ultimate. Stun coming through, and Albert does not find the stun on the Echo W, but is going to get the 3-hit passive. Renekton going in for the damage, is going to take a tower shot. Same with Albert, and think the play's dead, but now Drakkar flashing in, is able to find damage onto Brian, able to pick up the kill there, and is now chasing down Albert. Echo ult is available, could pop it onto Chow and get the kill right now. Does not use it, though.
Oh, that was such a risky gamble.
Yeah, I don't know the damage numbers there. Maybe someone in chat does, but yeah, that almost for sure would have killed Chow if he popped the ultimate there. That's rough.
I agree. I think if he had W, he may have been able to WR and just killed Malphite and even get out.
Yeah, I mean, even just
maybe he would have traded his life, and then you have 2 kills to Zed, which you definitely don't want. So maybe it wouldn't have been worth there.
Yeah.
Although he does lose his blue in consequence.
Yeah, now Drakkar is really kind of extracting more of a lead out here. Picking up that kill onto Renekton was huge. It's going to buy Malphite a bit of breathing room in this matchup. Teddy's been really good at dodging these hooks so far in the lane. Brat just not finding any luck on these engages.
It's actually the strategy of missing Blitzcrank's hooks, so they'll think you'll miss when it truly matters.
That's very true. Chow's ult is going to be up sooner, and Chow is just completely out trading here. Teddy going in. Kage's dropped down to about 400 health. Flash is forced out. Rat is going to get knocked up here. And Albert flashing in, but Rat flashing out, avoiding the stun, and gets the condemn into the wall. Galio's here for aerial support, gives the magic shield to the bot lane, and now Drakkar's here looking for blood. Collapses onto Hong, gets some damage down, forces the flash out. I don't think anyone's going to die here. Ults should be traded from Echo and Zed, but Echo just ults into the entire team and dies. That's Feat of Warfare going over to QC. Kage is down super low, and Omar's here to help, but I don't think they're going to be able to find a kill. And Kage and Rat both walk away with sub 300 health, and that's gotta suck for Inferno. That play
That
was
is just so
so close to
upsettingly
going their
close.
way.
That was a very good flash condemn from Vayne. I think that did impact how that fight went with the damage that they were able to throw down on Echo.
Yeah, I mean,
It was
Albert
just so
basically just got
unfortunately
removed
close
from the
for
fight.
Infernos.
Yeah, now Omar has TP'd in, is now just trying to run down Paul, but focuses on catching the wave instead. This dragon is still up, by the way. It's 12 minutes.
Yeah, neither team seems very interested in taking that objective. If I were Infernos, I would be happy about that right now with the lead that QC is starting to build up. Obviously, you don't want them to be stacking Drakes on top of that. It still gives Infernos an opportunity to pull their way back into the game, especially with Smolder scaling. Like, one of the things you like as Smolder is to be able to have dragons early, but if you can't have dragons early, they need rather neither team have them at all.
Yeah. I feel like and there, that hook is going to matter. The Condemn is not able to find a wall yet, I don't think, but Rat, just with the ultimate, is able to go in, but really good Janna ult there is going to be able to save his life. Trading is really coming down in the top lane, and Brian is no longer winning. Albert could look for an angle here, but it's very heavily warded out by QC, so is going to be tough. Sweeper's available, but not used. They are hunting for this. I think Chow just kind of knows it's coming, so there's no point. Has the ultimate available. Really good direction to ult out there. Normally you think to go down the lane, but I think that was actually safer with Echo committing the dash in the opposite direction. But now Drakkar is hunting for Hong. Should be able to find it. Has to burn the ult to get it, but might be able to find the follow kill onto Jeremy, and does do so. And now Drakkar is fully online. That is a 3-kill Zed.
With that Eclipse spike and the, what are they called? The CDR boots already. That boy is going to be not fun to play against.
Yeah, ouch.
And you do have a death across the board on Inferno's side. They've got the matching KDAs.
Not the matching KDAs you want, certainly. Kage fishing for a hook is not going to find it. Although Paul taking a lot, did take a tower shot there. Is not going to get finished off. They are looking for a dive onto Chow here. No Malphite ult available. This should be a pretty easy kill if they're going to go for it. But I think he wanted to burn the Echo W already. They're now going for it. A little delayed on this play, but it should still work out. And kill is going to go over to Albert. So not matching anymore, but I think in a way that they're happy with. Flash is available for Omar. I think if he had hit that Q, he should have just committed to it. But unfortunately not going to connect.
Just barely trying to get their way back in the game. I mean, what do you think about either team just scaling wise? I mean, I do definitely think it's much further in Inferno's favor. Although, like, with QC having Vayne, I don't think she would be able to just single-handedly hold the game after it starts to hit the 35-40 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is I feel like a scaled Zed can pretty much just one-shot anybody he wants to, and Drakkar is definitely good enough on the champion that that's possible. I do think it's slightly in Inferno's favor, but it's never going to be an easy game for them to play. Kage is falling down super low here. Rat is committing the ultimate. Galio with the aerial support has now stunned Teddy into the wall, and it is looking rough for them. Paul going in, not able to secure a kill. But Kage and Rat both surviving here. And Drakkar is pathing down. I think that's finally going to be the dragon taken.
The 15-minute first strike.
Yeah, interesting that Vayne went for Hexplate first. I don't know if that's meta, but definitely good.
That is, yeah, most certainly an interesting choice. I can't say I've ever seen that before.
I know zero about Vayne builds, so I literally just don't want to comment on it. But Drakkar is looking to pick up another double kill here. He just walked over a control ward. I don't think it matters. But Jeremy and Hong played it decently well. I think Teddy's still dead.
Fortunately, I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There we go. That's two more in Zed's pocket, but I think Chow is going to die for it. They just need like a couple more autos, and Echo did burn ult to keep himself alive.
As good as it is to make the plays across the map, it's just so bad for Zed to keep getting like kills. But honestly, you look at the bot lane and say, what what do you even do at that point? Like, Janna was 3/4 HP, Smolder was still on half, and he was just able to fully tower dive them with, honestly, with hardly even any help from his bot lane. Like, and
Yeah.
who's to say that's not just gonna keep happening?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the fundamentals have been here for Alberts all game. Like, they've had good vision. They've been able to make cross-map plays. I feel like Albert's been moving around the jungle in the right way. I really just think if you had banned Zed and, like, Drakkar had just, like, forgot that Kha'Zix existed, too, then maybe you would have been fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think, like,
I
it sounds corny to say this considering the scorelines, but I feel like this has been a pretty good showing for Inferno, especially with a team that's like started off 0-2 into, and I mean, in my opinion, the team that's looked the best so far. Good flash from Teddy there. I feel like this is a decent showing, and I feel like I'm positive for game 2. If this, or I mean, this game could turn around still. You have Cassio, you have Smolder, there's a lot of upside here. It's just looking rough with the 5 kills Zed with 2 items already. Paul is getting a stun here. I don't think they're going to be able to stun in return on him, and Drakkar has now entered the fight. Ult is committed, might get traded out for Echo ulti, but he just ults right back into Paul and gets CC'd up and killed.
Right. And so you're absolutely saying, just for the teams who haven't seen how QC has been playing, maybe don't give this Drakkar guy the Zed champion. I definitely will hope to see as a draft adaptation, even regardless of win or loss. I would hope to see that Inferno's bans.
Oh, huge flash coming out from Brian. Immediately stuns up Paul, and I think this should be a kill. Blocks the Galio dash from allowing him to get to tower, and really good play from Brian there. That's exactly what you want to see.
It was a fantastic top roam, especially after taking tower. You get a kill and you get another tower. That was a very good play.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they can come back. I mean, I literally just like I see 5-0 Zed, and I have little hope. Teddy is just completely stunned up and finally killed without Zed's assistance. I'm in this lane.
Right, I definitely think I'd have to agree. It's not knowing Drakkar that much and just knowing how it can be playing against the Zed champion, especially when he is as strong as he is.
Oh no, he's he's waiting over the wall. Omar just loses half his health. They're looking for the play onto Jeremy. And actually, I think Rat's going to die first. Shutdown going over to Omar. Zedmark is going to pick up the Cassio on the back of it, but Albert and Jeremy could have an angle there, force the flash out of Blitzcrank, and it's actually a 1-for-1. That play looked like it was going to be much worse.
Yeah, it actually did. Another big note, I see a lot of people not build this item enough. Serpent's Fang. When you're playing against any enchanters, Echo, all those types of champions, and you have a lead, that item is going to provide you just so much value.
Yeah, also the Seraphs coming out from Cassio. I wonder
oh,
if
yeah,
it's
you're
even,
right.
like, do you even get Seraphs if the Zed has a Serpent's Fang completed by the time that you're buying it? Like, I'm not sure what the strategy is there. Do you just swap to Zonias? I feel like the components are pretty similar.
At that point,
yeah.
You might as well just build a Zonias or something like that and just try to mitigate the damage completely, because I don't know, melee champions and Seraph is just so significant that it makes shields feel miserable to use.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't know if you really want a Zonias on Cassio ever, just by the way the champion plays, but you almost certainly need an Hourglass into Zed, so I hope the item gets picked up at some point. But, I mean, Omar is the resident Cassiopeia enjoyer, so I trust his build path to an extent.
And, I mean, sometimes as much as it sucks to build certain items on champions, sometimes it's just you have no other option. I mean, you look at the game and you say, this Zed is 6-0. If I build the Serpents right now, I'm going to be useless. So I might as well just build the Zonias and try to be useful.
Yep, Kage is going to find that hook. Really good Janna ult in response, but I think Hong might still die. And it does force the flash out of Rat, and Albert is now here. There's no vision, and that condemn is huge. Is going to save him. They were almost able to find the return kill onto Rat. But, I mean, Drakkar gets 2 camps, and Albert is Flame Horizoned right now. So that just kind of tells you how this game's been going.
Exactly. And once again, you just see the value of the ability to clear so fast on Zed, especially when you understand just how the champion works. So he's been able to clear his jungle, get kills, and even take Echo's camps. And so he's just able to keep pushing himself forward. And at this point, you can't really stop him. So if he keeps deciding that he wants to take all your stuff, he's going to take all your stuff. And he's going to be 5 levels above you, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, well, luckily for Echo, he got 8 CS and Drakkar got 2, and both of them are wards. So he's he's making up a little bit of ground.
Yeah, I got a little bit of ward copium, but you can appreciate that. Good on you, Echo, for getting those wards.
Oh no, I meant the other way around. Zed got the wards.
Oh.
Brian is popping ult there, was not able to find the W. Actually dashes back in, is able to get it. I just don't think you have enough damage at this point in the game to get the kill. Drakkar is 1v1ing Teddy, who just flashed into the wall and is going to die. Unfortunate.
See a little bit of that NA power coming out on the Smolder.
It's okay. There's not a Jace in the game, so it can't be as bad as it possibly could be.
It always could be worse. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of getting worse, Otacon is just completely uncontested, going over to QC. The next dragon isn't up for 30 seconds, so maybe Alberts will get back on the map in time to do something with that. And looking at Teddy's stat count, he's at 157, which I don't know. I feel like they changed it, so I don't actually know what the benchmarks are, but I feel like that's just slightly slow for where we are in the game right now.
It is most definitely low. I think you want to be shooting for 225 around 25 minutes. Okay. And so unless he gets like another 75 stacks in the next 2 minutes, which I don't know if he'll be able to do.
This could be a good play, except now Drakkar just showed up. They're still going to go for it anyway. Rat just almost full CC'd 0 to death. The Drakkar is just going to let him die. But they're chasing Drakkar now. But you have to be careful. There's Q's from Zed doing a lot of damage there and cutting through the shields. Kage could be fishing for a hook over the wall. Jeremy did just give away his position. Drakkar probably going to try for the steal, but this could just be a dragon going over to Inferno, but they need to get out soon. Drakkar going in actually gets fully stunned up, and the dragon does go over to Albert. Drakkar is just going to get popped there. 1,000 gold shutdown going over to Smolder. That's exactly who you wanted on. Galio's now going to enter the fight, but they've already taken down Chow, and now it is a 4v2 in favor of Alberts. I wonder if they're going to be able to pick anything up. Paul is just going to be forced to flash out and run away, but I think you just take that. That's a 3-for-1, and you get dragon. That's exactly what Alberts needed in this game, and they're on a tear trying to make a comeback here.
So that's a absolutely greedy throw on QC's side. I mean, you have the lead, and unfortunately Vayne did get caught out, which is exactly what you want as Inferno. Is when you're behind like you are right now, you want to pick someone out before the major objectives so you can have priority over those objectives. And as you saw right there, they were able to get the pick. They were able to contest the Drake, and QC, instead of saying, all right, we lost one of our teammates, let's just cut our losses and go back, they ended up giving 1,000 gold straight to the champion that you don't really want to be giving that shutdown to. And so it's definitely looking a lot more in Inferno's favor. I mean, the gold lead is shortened, and we'll see if they'll be able to pick up on that.
Yeah, I think Brian probably could win the 1v1. I don't think Brian is winning the 1v2, but should be able to get out here. Janna's coming in to support, but so is Blitzcrank. I think this still just not a fight you're looking for. Teddy is not long for this world. Drakkar coming, actually misses some Qs, might be fine. Forces the flash out of Drakkar, and Janna is here to keep him alive for just a little bit longer, and then Drakkar is going to pick up that kill.
Yeah, unfortunately at this point, when you have a Zed that's as strong as they are and you're an 80 carry, your line that you don't want to be passing is probably like your Nexus tower. That's somewhat of an exaggeration, but you definitely don't want to go much farther than your own tower because of exactly that. Zed is just going to show up and Zed is going to kill you, and you are not going to be happy.
Yeah, I don't know how much tower is going to save you. But luckily, Drakkar did burn his flash, and Teddy's is going to be up soon, so I think that does help you out a little bit. I'm not sure how much, but Zed not being able to just flash to have instant access on you during a team fight is definitely going to be important. And Jeremy got to hold R, so maybe they could look for some sort of fight over Baron here, but I think really you're just trying to get a pick before the next big fight. 2,500 gold lead is not insurmountable by any means. Omar now going in, gets a lot of damage onto Rat. They're going to lose vision here, but they're actually able to find a kill first. The problem is now a TP's here and a Blitzcrank hook, and that is going to be a 1-for-1 trade here, and I think it's going to be tough for Omar to get out. But now Chow's 1v1ing Hong, and that is really not what we want to see. Drakkar almost falling down there is actually picked up by Omar again. Omar having a great game so far. Might be able to find another one, but gets hooked away by Blitzcrank. But that is going to be a kill picked up onto Paul M, and I don't think Kage is going to live here either. Huge play from Omar, 5-2 and 4, and they could just look for Nash here. Their jungler is up. Chow being the only one to survive after solo killing the AD carry.
That is a really strong lead just going into Inferno's favor. I mean, Zed does, like, yes, he can be annoying throughout the late game, but he does fall off to some extent, and their team is very scale-oriented. So they can, at this point, pull the game back into their favor. I mean, the gold leads have been pushed into their favor now with
yeah, I mean they're up 1,000 gold. They have purple on the back of all 5 of their members. I think things are looking good, and I think this is kind of where your team's gonna spike. You don't have to deal with like super fed Vayne and Zed once we get all the way to the late game. I believe Hong is super close to getting that benchmark on Smolder. I think they're in a pretty good spot. If they can get 20 more stacks on Smolder before the next team fight and not have him get one shot by either Malphite or Zed before then, they're in a really good spot. And Teddy is going to have both sums up for the next fight, which maybe could be on the Dragon. I feel like that's not going to be super high impact, but anything you can win is pretty good here. Although Brian now getting 1v3'd is going to ult, but the tower is no longer there, and I think that is going to be a clean pick going over to QC. Flash Force out of for Nectin 2. Oh, and Albert might be next on the chopping block. They are aware that he's here. They're looking to take his jungle, but this is a 3v3 on the top side of the map. Vayne and Galio are both accounted for, so they know it's a 3v3. No Zed ult, no Malphite ult available. They could look for something, but it's just going to be too hard to force it, it looks like.
Yeah, biggest things you want to look out for is when you have Baron, you want to make sure you're syncing up your waves, but you want to make sure that you're not fighting either. If you don't see people on the screen, inches away from death.
You just immediately get condemned to the wall and die there. Albert is actually close enough that this is a possible steal, but just gets collapsed upon immediately upon showing his face. And the TP is coming through from Chow. Renekton just a bit too far away and does not have TP. Looks like Teddy's hit the threshold for execute on Smolder, and this could be a really critical team fight. Whoever ends up winning this, I don't even think the drag matters as much as getting a lot of kills. If you get a big wipe, that sets you up really good for the rest of the game. And a lot of damage has been taken by QC from the Dragon, but Drakkar walking in now gets some poke, and huge Malphite ult, Flash R, being able to find 3 members there, and Drakkar going onto the backline is able to find Smolder. Huge Galio taunt too, also hitting 3 members, but it looks like Drakkar is going to fall. Echo picking up 1 kill there, but 2 members of Inferno have already fallen. Chow falling down low. Omar trying to kite this out, is doing super well, but Raz able to pick up a kill there. Double stun coming out from Cassio, but it's not going to be enough. Omar almost actually is able to find another kill on the back of it, but that's 2 kills going over to Omar in that fight and nothing for anybody else. And that is a 5-for-2 wipe for QC, and they're going to get the Dragon on top of it. That is going to swing the game back in their favor, at least until the next Baron.
Falls behind the same thing that I mentioned earlier with the previous Drake, where QC had someone die and they ended up getting wiped because they chose to fight over the Drake. It kind of flipped over to Inferno side this time, where Nectin had been dead. And so QC had total control over that Drake, and honestly, if I'm pressing tab and looking at the Drakes, both teams only had 1 Drake at that time. And so, like, if I'm in Inferno's position, I'm really just saying, honestly, let's just push the waves with the Barons that we have left and just call it for the Drake. I mean, we don't have all 5 people, we have no control. And it's not like we're really losing anything, it's not even sole point.
Yeah, I will counter it by saying if not both Malphite and Galio expending their flashes to hit 3-man CC, I don't think that fight was going as strong in QC's favor as it did. Crucial members got caught by both of those plays. and they spend a lot of resources to get them done. The only flash still available for QC is Zed's flash, and it looks like Alberts just didn't have the time to react because 3 flashes are available for them. So again, I think we'll have to see how the fight on Baron goes, but a lot of that was just really good execution by QC, which I don't think you can always predict.
I agree, but if I were to counter your counter, if they had control over the river, they also wouldn't
I
be
100%
ripped up
agree.
like they would have been, like in their kind of by the rapper pit there.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see an argument for both sides.
I just want to shout out Chow for a good play.
Oh, it was a fantastic mouth idol. I think QC did really well at punishing the mistake that I believe Inferno's was making.
Oh dear. Hong actually positioned that pretty well. Did not take much damage. Actually gets Rat down to about half HP here. And Echo looking for the play. Jeremy's here to support. The ult comes through, which is going to heal Hong's health bar back up. And now Drakar's looking over the wall, and that could be deadly. They kind of know he's there. Chow getting stunned up here. Has that ultimate available. I think this play's just kind of fizzling. Next objective is going to be Baron Nashor up in a minute. But huge hook comes out, and that's just going to be a dead AD carry. Really good hook from Kage. Drakar's stunned up, but I don't think long enough that he's going to die. Malphite ult only hitting 1 onto Omar, but that's your damage that you needed to finish off this kill. Albert forced to ult early. Yaoi ult coming out here, and I don't think anyone else is going to die, but this should just be Baron control. But Drakar is hungry for another kill. Just going to throw a body over there, get some Qs through. Yeah, maybe a reset from Drakar, and they can look to pressure Nash. Or they just look to kill Teddy again once he respawns. It's a 2-9-2 scoreline, not what you want to see from your carry. Paul actually just getting shredded here, and they're able to trade it back. Kill going over to Albert. Nothing really key invested there. Rat able to get a kill on the bot side, but that's still a decent trade for Alberts.
Right, and you can see, like, for Infernos and how they can play these fights out. Honestly, even with where Zed is, damage-wise,
oh no,
all QC has is Zed.
Omar's dead. Missed the stun on the ultimate. Is not going to be able to find a kill here. Gets hit by the hook anyway. And just unfortunate positioning from Omar. And that's going to cost him. That's a 60-second death timer. I believe Omar was level 18 already.
And giving the Baron over, too. That is an unfortunate circumstance to be in if you are Infernos. It falls under the same line. You really want to be looking at that map. I mean, you have Blitzcrank, you have Zed. You don't want to be alone. You've seen how that has worked against Infernos multiple times in the game.
There could be a steal angle here. Galio's not there. Can get there very quickly with ultimate. I'm not sure they have vision of the pit, but now they definitely do. Brian going in is popping the ultimate. They're looking to lock down Chow, but Albert just gets destroyed on the other side of the fight. Chow might burn down eventually from Smolder, but isn't actually going to be able to. Echo flashing in, trying to get the steal through is not going to happen. So many people are one hit away from Smolder before they die. They're able to find one. Drakar is down super low, isn't going to end up dying. And there's so many people that are just 1 or 2 hits away, but now there's no one left to peel for Hongbaba, and Rat just flashing in is going to be able to pick up the triple kill. And I think they can just pressure to end the game here. They have Nash, they have 4 very strong members up, and they can just kind of walk forward and at least get damage done to the base.
I think that falls once again under that argument. It's just it feels so bad to lose an objective, especially when someone has been caught out. But at the same time, it's not worth losing more over a gamble when I feel like you could still impact the game. Like I don't think Infernos is on a timer. Like they're kind of playing they have been.
If Casio was alive for that fight, they wipe it easily. Like it was close, and they were down a player.
And like if you're Infernos here, you say, okay, well we don't get Baron, that sucks. But now you can still contest
Dragon,
the Ocean Drake.
Yeah.
But instead you lose the Baron and you give them Soul Point, which is going to probably be pretty significant if the game goes on long enough for the next Ocean to come up.
Yeah. And they're almost guaranteed a pick going into Ocean with Zed. So You're just going to be in the same position again, I feel like.
I don't agree, just because Zed, once he uses his whole kit, like there's two damage dealers on Inferno. Like you have Smolder and you
Oh, I
have
meant
Cassio
like
and
before the dragon.
oh, okay.
It is a minute cooldown, which is a little longer than I thought it was, but
Yeah.
I mean, see, this is what I mean. Like, Drakkar just walks up and, like, you're dead.
Right. It's just, yeah, it's a little too greedy.
That was not even remotely as bad of an overextension as the other one was. Just
Yeah, I
full
agree,
build
but
Zed.
unfortunately, if you don't see all five members of the team from QC on your screen, you just gotta be standing next to those towers at this point.
Yeah,
Because they're
Vayne
gonna be looking for
also
you.
full build here. Brian trying to trade into the Galio just is not having much luck. I feel like Omar's team fighting has been immaculate this game, but I feel like once QC realized they could just focus him as a pick target, things have been going a lot better for them. I'm not even sure if Paul wins this. Albert is just going to get condemned there, and I think dead before he can ult. Yep, put in the bouncy house there. Does not have time to react. Could have ulted immediately, but then I think you just get CC chained after you ult. I don't know. It's looking pretty cooked for Inferno at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely looking a little rough. Echo won't be up for 40 seconds. If anybody else get picked, like if Renekton gets picked, if
You mean
Smolder
like
gets
Smolder?
picked,
They're able to
the game
finally
is
kill the
most likely
Galio.
gonna be over. And so I think, especially Smolder, I think that's the last person you want to get picked in this instance. And so
Hey, I mean,
I do
3v4
think they're
with
just gonna be
Cassio
able to
up,
end the
it's
game.
doable. Rat almost finds a kill in base. But now they can just heal back up. Omar in a bit of a tough position here. Malphite are not available. But, I mean, Chow just gonna tank fucking 20 tower shots? And they get one of the Nexus towers. Echo's about to be back up. That could be their window to go for something, but Smolder's not up for another 20. But Albert now just running in. Gets condemned out at least, but I just don't think they have any other follow-up. And QC staying to siege another wave, and there goes the hook. Has the ultimate to save himself this time, but isn't going to have it next time. Smolder's now joined the fight, but now QC's just going to walk away. They're looking for it, though. The ultimate is used. Echo looking for a stun here, but your team isn't really grouped up anymore when you're chasing this hard, and now Galio's entered the fight. Hook missing from Kage. They're still looking to find an engage. Chow able to find it on just Smolder. Not necessarily what you want to see, but it looks like Chow's going to be able to get out, and now there's a Galio flank on the backside. The taunt got interrupted, which is insanely lucky for Inferno. Whoever got that down was huge, and they're able to find the stun onto Rat, but Omar gets hooked when he's trying to finish off the kill. Galio now falling down super low, but Drakkar just went back into the backline and popped Hongbaba, and they're not able to finish the kill under Rat or Paul M. Both of them living with hundreds of HP, almost dying there, and now I think Brian is going to be finished off, and Janna unfortunately is not going to be able to base defend, but another fight that was played super well by Inferno, just not well enough, and QC is just going to waltz to victory there with a 14k gold lead.
I think had the game been a little bit closer, had we cut a little bit more of our losses, I think that game probably would have gone into Inferno's favor, honestly. I think with how behind they are right now, or they were, those fights were still incredibly close. So had they played a little bit more patient and played a little bit more together, I think they probably would have been able to run that game.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty good showing from Alberts. I think it's probably one of the best games they've played all season into a really tough team. I do have to say that I think the MVP for that game is Drakkar, considering he had 5 more kill participation than anyone else on his team. Which, you know, that's insane.
Yeah, I definitely think Drakkar made their early game, Inferno's early game, incredibly volatile and like impossible to play, which I do think impacted the rest of the game. I mean, I highly doubt that QC would have been able to get as ahead as they were without Zed being as strong as he was. And so I definitely agree. I think Drakkar deserves the Zed. Or not the Zed, the MVP. He deserves the Zed. Yeah, he should. He gets the MVP for playing Zed.
I am going to swap to champions to watch because we do have um, a new roster coming out for QC. So after winning with what has been their main roster, and I think is listed as their main roster, they've decided to swap over to Scott Pilgrim's Hero, Kage, Ribbons, and Lelouch. So the only person that's staying in here is Kage, which is kind of interesting.
Right. They like
And
completely shifted their roster.
yeah, that's what they did versus y'all, I believe, also.
Right.
But I think
Yeah, they
something
did.
that's kind of key here is Aphelios was banned versus Hong in the first game, and I think Ribbons is kind of known for their Aphelios. So that could be something that matters going into the next draft. But I think we can just go ahead and kick it to that if you are ready to look at it.
Yeah, let's look at it.
Okay.
What's going on?
And yes, I mean, I said that knowing that Aphelios was banned, so don't think I'm some sort of like knower or anything. I just cheated. But
Just like it's a given. I definitely don't. Ribbons is a Aphelios one trick, right?
that is what I am aware of, yes.
Okay, then yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to give someone their one trick champion. So I can definitely understand the Aphelios ban, especially when they have blue side. I mean, obviously, had Inferno's been on the blue side, they could steal away the Aphelios. I mean, but they just didn't get that option. What I do find interesting though is the first pick Renata. That champion can be countered by so many characters at this point in the game. They can lock in Zillion, Melio, Mel, Silas. All of those champions are horrible for Renata to have to play into, and I am not seeing a single ban. And so I definitely question Inferno's choice to
Hey,
not
there's
pick any
one
of
ban.
those
They banned
champions.
Yumi. Yumi cannot auto attack her teammate if she is attached to them. I mean, I will also say I think one of the things about Inferno that is a little notorious is that Jeremy does have a pretty small champion pool. So I think if you
Right.
just know that Jeremy is not going to play one of the counters to it, I think it's relatively safe to get
That,
away with. What is
that is
really sticking
true.
out to me at the beginning of draft though is how are we not banning Heroes Lee Sin? What the fuck are we doing?
I don't know who Hero is, so I can't comment on that. Is
I
he a
know
Lee Sin
nothing about
player?
the guy other than the fact that his Lee Sin is cracked out of this world.
Okay. I mean, maybe they didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that. Maybe, you
Yeah, I
know,
guess it is a
they just,
mid-series sub too, so you don't have as much
that is
time to
true.
scout it out.
Right. And so, they may have not been knowers. I mean, they know Ribbons plays Aphelios, but I mean, they just didn't know about Hero. I mean, they didn't have the time to look at him. I mean, I guess that is kind of the power of being a new team while also swapping rosters so significantly.
There is another thing I'm noticing in the draft, but we haven't gotten there yet. Anyway, Zeri Lulu locked in for Inferno. It's kind of surprised this wasn't the Jinx Lulu for Hong, but Zeri definitely offers you more survivability as an independent champion than Jinx does. The traps by themselves are usually not enough to keep you completely safe.
Absolutely not. But I also think on the Lulu, usually Lulu's able to make up for what you lack when you are playing any
Yeah,
type of AD carry.
but
Like
why
if
not
the
be double
Lulu,
safe?
yeah, because Aerie is, at least in my opinion, an absolutely abysmal champion, unfortunately. So it's kind of like you choose double safe and do nothing, or you choose Jinx, which Hong is notoriously good at,
Yeah, I mean, I
and
think Zeri's win rate has
hard to
actually
get.
gone back to 50%. So
Has it?
I'll that's what I'm seeing. I don't know if I'm like maybe filtering by the wrong ranks or anything, but that's what it looks like to me at least. So I don't fully hate it, and I trust Hong to have a good read on the meta. But the Jinx counter into it, I think, is reasonable. You're just going for double hyperscaler, and obviously Hero's going to be picking up the Lee Sin here. I don't think that's surprising. Udyr coming in for
Absolutely.
Albert, I think, is a little interesting. I'm not sure how many times he's played that before.
Uh, Yeah, like I said, I don't really know too much about either of these teams, so
Yeah.
I
Okay, the
new champion. Woo!
Udyr he played once in. Oh no, it's just this game. Okay, I was just about to spoil his entire score line, so I'm glad I didn't
Oh,
say anything. But all time has played. Yeah, so this is Albert's first game of Udyr in the server,
okay.
which fun to see a new champion. I'm not sure how the Lee Sin matchup goes for Udyr. I'm sure Mason would know if Mason is watching. But from what I'm seeing stats wise, it is one of Lee Sin's best matchups.
Ooh,
So, take that how it is.
that's
How
that
does the
hard counter pick.
Renata Lulu matchup go, if you know?
If I'm playing Renata into Lulu, I don't really. It's one of those matchups where you just don't care, right?
Okay.
Like you're kind of just you both are kind of looking at each other, and you're throwing your poke out, and she's just shielding it, and she's throwing her poke out, and you're just kind of like,
Okay, it
whatever.
looks like stats
It's
wise, Renata is very favored into Lulu. So that kind of tracks with what
right.
you're saying. So,
Yeah,
so far out of
and
Inferno's
so
drafted matchups, they've had two counter picks and picked a horrible matchup in both of them. They have one more counter pick in the rest of their draft. I'm just going to skip to the end because, oh my God, I really have some questions
oh
here.
no,
So you pick Mordekaiser into Olaf, which is, again, one of his worst matchups.
notoriously
It's
bad.
it's not as bad as it used to be because I don't think you can break out of the ult anymore, but it doesn't matter that much. That
It's
wasn't really the
yeah.
entire point of it, regardless.
So
I think the Jax and Gangplank bans are good into Scott Pilgrims. I think they make sense. Syndra and Set bans coming out from QC, I'm happy with. Akali being picked for Omar, I love it. I love the confidence. It kind of mixes up your playstyle with the Zeri. They're not super synergistic, but if you're able to pop the Jinx, that helps you out a lot. Love the Galio response into the Akali, but the Mordekaiser pick is just really sending me. So
yeah,
if you're
I
playing as Red
definitely
Side, you have three chances to counterpick, and they picked pretty much the
and you
worst matchup
don't
possible for all three of
for
them, and
each
I
of them.
really
Yeah.
do not like their chances going into this game.
That is a very questionable draft. And the thing you mentioned, Mordekaiser versus Olaf, yeah, you can't break out of the ultimate anymore, but the reason Olaf counters Mordekaiser is because what is Mordekaiser? He's a stat check champion. He pulls you into him and walks at you. What does Olaf do? He walks at you and stat checks you. Olaf stat checks Mordekaiser a lot better than Mordekaiser stat checks Olaf. And so Olaf is perfectly happy having people just walk into him. Um, and so, yes, he can't break out of your ultimate, but you also can't walk away from him because your rise won't apply to him if he's ulting. You don't
Yeah.
really have anything except for flash to get away from him, and so he's just going to run you down and kill you.
Yeah, I
And
mean, maybe if you go like Flash Ghost on Mordekaiser, you have a chance, but
oh,
then you don't have TP.
yeah,
Like, maybe if you get lucky and match like Ghost TP, if Olaf is running Ghost TP. But I feel like as Olaf, you can kind of just run Flash Ghost and get away with it.
yeah,
But
and
I don't
that's
know. I
most
mean,
likely
my
going to be the
criticism of
runes you'll
Albert's
see
last
from
game
Olaf.
was that they seemed to play a great game. They just really missed a few obvious things in draft, and this time they missed many more obvious things in draft, which just
Right.
really sucks. I mean, I think it
And
shows why them being on blue side was kind of good for them, but they actually didn't have side select in the first game, and then when they did, they chose red side and proceeded to counterpick themselves 3 times in a row. So again, I think we just hop in a game and see how this one goes, and I don't want to be that much of a hater, but I genuinely have like,
it's
oh, that was the wrong thing. A lot less hope for this game than I did in the first one. But anything can happen.
right.
So
Anything can happen, but
I'm expecting Hero to
and I
smurf on
also
them
think,
and all of their solo lanes to go poorly. And their bot lane.
yeah, yeah,
It's
that is
tough.
it is very rough draft wise. There's not much more to say about that, honestly. It is what it is. Let's see how the game goes. Yippee.
Yeah, I did
Uh,
really like Albert showing on the Echo though. So I'm
oh yeah.
not going to instantly count out another good performance on a new champion from him. Looks like they're actually going to be lane swapping. Okay, this makes it a little better. because now you have a
That
Kali
definitely,
into Olaf, which I think is actually nice because the Shroud, he can't auto attack you. And I feel like Mordekaiser matches up a little better into Galio. It's not perfect, but
you're definitely a lot happier. I mean,
yeah.
Galio, even into an MR champion, I mean, Mordekaiser has literal built-in MR pen, but I think you are still happy being Mordekaiser into Galio because it's the same thing. Galio likes to run into you
And you
and do
get to
short
steal
trades, and you
his
just run him
MR.
down. That's true. You have built-in MR pen, and you steal his ult MR. So I think you're pretty content playing against Galio as a
Yeah.
Mordekaiser. I think. I don't know. I mean, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's probably decent. You're melee into melee, so it's not that big of a deal. I feel like Mordekaiser has like a lot of advantage into Lee Sin too. You kind of stop a lot of his steal threat on objectives because you can just ult him away. And most of the time, I don't think Lee Sin is going to have enough damage to like one-shot you in your ultimate. My question is, how is Omar going to fare in a top lane into one of the best top laners in the server when it's his off roll? We will have to see. But
Yep.
I think Inferno actually was pretty intelligent with how they played the second half of draft. I did not see this lane swap coming. So the fact that they picked two champions that they could flex lane to lane and made good use of it, I think is pretty neat. However, the Udyr and Lulu, I'm still questioning a little bit, although the Lulu has some legs to stand on because it's... I've been saying this for seasons. If you have a Lulu paired with Hong Baba, I think that champion is just OP as shit. So
Is a that is a fair point. I mean, Lulu is very annoying to play against. I mean, that's my my ban. Whenever I'm playing on my own, I despise that character.
and Omar actually trading really well here, up in HP in this lane.
Yeah, while also being a level down is going to be relevant. Although one note is Olaf has goats instead of flash.
Yeah, I think that's fairly common. There's not a crazy amount of like over the wall mobility on the other team. You have Zeri's dash and you have a Kali E, but Scott probably figured he was playing into Mordekaiser.
Yeah.
Really good stun coming out from Renata there. Hong dropping super low here. I mean, Brian has just been smacking up this mid lane. Not sure if it's going to continue this way, but good trades coming out. I think that was able to even it up a little bit, but at the cost of most of Gallia's mana. One Scuttle Crab going over each way, and it looks like Udyr is going for some invasive vision, but now Lee Sin is heading towards the mid lane, and here is a bit of the weakness of Mordekaiser. If you gank him pre-6, it is really hard for him to get much done. And Hero almost forcing the flash out, but Brian doing a good job of holding it. And now Udyr is actually heading towards mid to try and counter this. Something could happen bot lane, so I'm going to keep it there until Udyr actually enters lane, but Gallia just going to take the dash out, and Albert not really forcing the issue. Bot lane trading pretty aggressively. They're able to get some damage down, but Hong falling pretty low on the back of this. Not going to get taken down too low because the W did get eaten by a minion, which, as we know, is actually just a squirrel playing League of Legends.
Yep. Or a creature with an endless torture. Whatever you want to think.
I think a squirrel can... Actually, maybe I'm doing another entire species to the hell that is playing League of Legends. So I think either way, it's a soul being tortured.
I mean, that's what League of Legends is at the end of the day.
Yeah. Depends on if you hate squirrels or minions more.
I mean, squirrels haven't killed me under tower by body blocking me, so...
You haven't gone outside enough for that to happen.
There's also no squirrels where I live, so there's that too.
What? Insane. One of the places I lived, we had a nice little tin roof, and I got woken up every morning to the sound of squirrels scurrying across it. It was nature's alarm clock.
A little tin
Second
roof.
only to Rooster, of course.
Yeah. I can't relate.
I mean, Omar's been playing this lane super well. I like really retract everything I said about the back half of their draft. I think this is super intelligent. I just, what's the Shaq meme? I apologize. I was not familiar with your game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely wasn't like the most expected, especially when you're technically counterpicking your own champions. And I guess the question is don't you respond to the swap by swapping as QC?
I feel like their game plan both of these games has been, we're just better. Let's not go for anything that's risky. I feel like playing Olaf mid, Galio top can be a little risky, especially if they're just going to counter swap, but Hong just running in on Jinx is looking to pick up this kill. Barrier is going to come through, and the flash does come out from Ribbons, keeping them alive. And Omar looking to hunt down the Galio, at least keeping him off the dragon. And this is going to be the first objective of the game, going over to Alberts. They're continuing their very good like fundamentals and map play going in. And I don't even know if Olaf's getting one plate, but maybe not two. But now they've actually lane swapped back. So the Akali's into the Galio, and Mordekaiser back up top lane. So we'll see if that does end up harming Inferno, but maybe they think now that both champions are 6, there's a bit more of an upside to it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, me neither.
So I think you're kind of countering yourself, because now you're making it to where QC doesn't have to take any risk.
Yeah, I mean, this is likely to just be temporary. As soon as Mordekaiser gets it back, Akali also is taking one.
Oh yeah,
top, so
okay, they're running back
just
top.
just because
okay.
of TV cooldowns. Just good, I think.
No, I think that's the right choice. I think had they stayed in the lanes, it would have been incredibly suspect.
Yeah, neither of them burning ultimates, saving it for the potential kill onto their more favored matchup. Jeremy just getting absolutely cooked there, gets hit by all the CC in the book and only taking 200 damage for it. So you take those.
Lulu moment.
But first grub has been taken by Hero. Albert's in the area, maybe looking to steal one, but Akali and Mordekaiser are slow to roam, and Galio barely even needs to move to get the roam off. Mordekaiser's in the area, could look to ult somebody, but Here's just able to pick up the kill, flashing to finish it. Really well played there, and Brian just needs to flash away, is not able to even get an ultimate off. Actually goes on cooldown because it was casted, and that is pretty much the worst thing that possibly could have happened to Alberts in that situation. They tried to contest grubs that were already given to the other team pretty much, and end up losing 2 for it. Good call by Kage to just immediately pop the ultimate and join the fight, and really well executed by Hero, picking up 2 kills to kind of snowball his lead, but it was looking so good for Alberts, and not so much anymore.
Well, let's see how they can try to pull their way back into the game. I mean, unlike last game, the Drake has already been taken, the topside objectives have been taken, and so Inferno still has the ability to try to force themselves back into the game through their objectives.
I mean, Omar has been playing this tremendously. Hong is caught here, gets stunned, immediately pops the ultimate and starts attacking his teammate, but now Here's in the area. If this Q hits, that's, oh no, that's wraps, but Hong actually gonna just flash immediately, and Hero no longer has it to follow up. Does not actually have the ultimate, but goes back in, and that Jinx ultimate is gonna pick up the kill. That's Feat of Warfare going over, but Omar should be able to get the solo kill here, but no, shield comes out. Omar able to pick up the solo bolo against Scott Pilgrims. Scott, very good player, so Omar should be quite happy about that one. Not as nice as getting Feats of Warfare, but huge shout out to Omar for that play. That was awesome.
Absolutely. And you did definitely see a little bit of the greedy autos coming out on the bot side. I mean, the Flash was really good getting away from that Lee Sin, and they just played a little bit in his range too much instead of just running away, resulting in that like gank working out. But I also think that Omar, both games, has been playing very well. I mean, like, yeah, he got cut out in the sides a few times, but overall, his performance has just been on either champion really good.
And Udyr and Lulu teaming up together to try and secure the Scuttle Crab. Mordekaiser in a bit of a rough position here. Does have ultimate available and is going to use it, but is just going to get absolutely smoked once he's out of it. You need to get the kill here to not completely lose, and I don't think it's going to happen. Huge kick from Hero, immediately Qs to follow up and take the kill. If Flash had been available for Mordekaiser and his Q came up just a little bit earlier, maybe the play could have gone in his favor, but Hero ultimately just exactly where he needs to be to continue to snowball this game.
Yep. And then you said Hero is the cracked Lee Sin player, and so you definitely, once again, you don't want the junglers getting these kills, and he just is. So we'll see how he'll be able to push that lead further into the game.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like both games Inferno just leaves up their opposing junglers one trick and lets them get 3-0 to start the game. So not a good strategy, I wouldn't say. But kind of besides that, I feel like Albert's gameplay has looked really good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, QC just cleanly executing these games so far, and they have 1,500 gold lead at this point in the game. Which puts them in a good position. Looks like Albert is going to be starting up the next dragon, though, and if Albert can start stacking up these dragons, it could be pretty impactful. Brian definitely at a deficit in this lane. Actually, maybe not. I think the gold is in... no, it is not. Tower plates have made up the difference, but Kage trading super heavily down, and it looks like a skirmish is going to be breaking out in the bot side of the map. Poly has been used onto Lelouch, but Heroes marked Jeremy, looking for the kill. Not able to find much. The Renata ult actually dodged away from everybody, but Omar a little far to follow up on anybody. Is going in for it anyway. Might be able to find the kill into Jinx. Is not enough damage. That shield from the Galio is enough to kind of change the course of the fight, and here's going to follow up again. The Lee Sin Jinx combo, able to find another kill. Zeri actually able to find one kill back. Hero desperately trying to get away here, and I think is going to be able to do it. So there's one kill returned in Albert's direction, but it's not going to be enough. And Hong taking a tower shot. Hero's gotten a markdown with the Q, but I don't think it's going to take it. It's another one of these team fights in this series where the ADC of QC is super low, but doesn't get finished off.
Yeah, but in the depression, even had Akali killed Jinx there, the Renata W would have gone off and had saved Jinx by the time Akali died.
This dragon's going to be really interesting. We need Zeri to rotate up as Alberts if you want this to go well. Good dodge away from the Lee Sin Q, and I think this is just going to get secured. If Lee Sin goes for the steal, Mordekaiser ult's available to just stop it, and I think that's part of the reason why you go for this pick. Brian tagged, probably could have gotten killed, but you don't want to trade the Lee Sin shutdown for anybody at this point of the game. Hong's farm is insane. Up a kill, I think this is a much better spot than the 0-7 power spike that Teddy hit last game. So
absolutely.
Progress.
Another note, too, they have 2 Drakes, and Ocean Drake is up now, so that is a very good soul to have. So if they can keep stacking their Drakes up, then I think they'll be able to make their way back into the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think things are looking somewhat promising for Inferno this game. They are still down 3k, and they're dealing with a 4-0 Lee Sin and a 2-0 Jinx, but it'll be fine. It'll be okay.
You take what you can get.
I also feel like any team Hong's on has its own win conditions, and they're checking the box on a lot of them.
Right.
At least one solo laner that's doing pretty damn well. Hong having a lead. A couple dragons in the pocket. I'm happy. Omar's looking for maybe a pick onto the Galio. Seems to walk away, thinks maybe there's a ward there, I guess. Actually going to look for the kill onto Hero. Finds pretty much all the damage that he needs to, but is just going to get kicked away and does not... Actually, the R2 is still available, and it's used to steal the blue buff, but now it's just getting run down by Mordekaiser. That Mordekaiser ultimate needs to be used onto the Lee Sin, and I don't think it's going to be able to come down in time. Yeah, the shield pops out. Udyr running away, but actually they found no kills yet. Udyr is going to change that. Blue buff for Udyr trade. Pretty tactical.
For Udyr. Died for his teammates' sins.
Yeah, Hong walking up really aggressively here. Has the ultimate, is going to find a shutdown with it. The Berserk comes through, but Hong flashing in, able to get a double kill. That's exactly what you want to see if you're an Albert's fan. It's one step in the right direction here, but they are losing Rift Herald on the other side of the map, and Brian has walked up too far here, unfortunately.
That's alright. It happens.
It does.
But I mean, on the right side, Hong is a very good player to have a lead on your team, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think that sequence is good overall. They were able to make up 1,000. No, they were able to make up 200 gold with the tower going down mid. But all the gold that you gain is right where you want it to be, and all the gold the other team got was onto Olaf, which, I don't know. Could be worse. They're looking to pressure this bot lane tower. Zeri ultimate is not back up, but Mordekaiser's here to support. This is a 3v4 from Albert's perspective. Hero's just going to be looking at this play, and Hong is in a really bad position. Just going to get run down by the Olaf, immediately kicked up, and does not have the ultimate to look for anything, and that's going to be a clean double kill. Again with these dives started by QC junglers, but Brian able to pick a kill on the back of it. Jeremy was just taken out by Hero, and now the tower's gone. They got what they came for, plus a kill. Mordekaiser ultimate coming through. I don't think it's going to be enough. Hero is just going to win that, and that is a 6-0 for Lee Sin.
That's a big, strong boy right there. Does look like in at least a consequence that Udyr will get the mid lane. Never mind, I lied.
Udyr should be fine here. Has the CC immune available. You got to use it before you get hit, though. And is forced to flash. Might die off the back of it. The undertow from Olaf is super annoying to deal with. Support coming out from Jeremy, just not enough. I think maybe the first time Udyr is showing itself a little bit on Albert here.
Yeah, get out of your comfort zone sometimes. Sometimes we like locking in Pike, right?
Oh, Pike is my comfort zone. That was just a horrible Pike spot. Unless you're talking about yourself. It's okay. It's both of us. We have both the shitty Pike spots in call, so
yeah,
we're both gonna get slaughtered for our actions. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just glad when I actually uploaded the Rift Sharks game that I got to capture Psycho Carrot's excellent play where he walks top lane and tries to 1v3 3 people as Pike and just instantly dies.
I don't know how else you play the champion, honestly.
We could all be bad
at really playing Pike.
Yeah, and they have started up this dragon already. Albert is marked here, but should just be able to walk out. Really good positioning, and now Brian is in the fight. The dragon is going to reset, so I think this is a good opportunity for Albert to just kind of disengage. You basically want a miracle play where Zeri just surfs into the entire team once they've already used CC, pops the ultimate, and just carries the fight. How this fight is starting now is their entire team is getting rolled. The Berserk comes out onto everybody. Scott's picked up 2 kills already. Hero finds another one, and Scott is just running Omar down, trying to get revenge for the laning phase. Is going to find it, doesn't want to risk the undertow, and actually, no, Omar getting out, playing super well there. However, the mid-jungle duo has gotten their 9th deaths between the two of them, and the mid-tower is being taken. And the mid-jungle duo of QC is just going to pick up the dragon and stop the stacking. 6.5k gold lead for QC, and they are looking to just absolutely command this game, and it looks like Otacon's being started up again by just the mid-jungle. I think Lee Sin can probably solo this if he wanted to. TP is coming out from Scott, though, to make sure this goes down cleanly. They're going to commit all 5 members, because why not? There's nothing better for them to do on the map.
Yep. And I think it was a very well played wombo on the side of QC. I mean, you had the Renata ult hit 3 people, and then you just throw Lee Sin in, and the Galio ults the Lee Sin, and everybody dies. That is exactly what you want to have happen if you were on QC's side.
Yeah, I was talking about maybe some Miracle Zeri angle. I don't even think Zeri got to move that fight.
Yeah, unfortunately, Zeri cannot go over a wall if she is berserked into, knocked up into, taunted into, you know, whatever else.
That's fucking 8 hours of CC she endured.
Yeah.
Game probably is going to slow down until the double objectives of Baron and Dragon come up. QC just going to apply some pressure as they're able to. They have huge leads in, I think, almost every position. Mid lane is about dead equal. And actually, ADC in favor of Hongbaba still. But I mean, they should just be able to kind of choke this game out for about 3 minutes, and Inferno can then try and find some windows. I think you need to pick off this Lee Sin at some point before he picks off every member of your team, including Jeremy to start. The Blast Cone almost helps, but Hero just going to flash. Actually gets the flash just traded, and Ribbon's ult is not going to hit. She was pretty close with it, but no beans. Oh, that's you. Sorry, that wasn't intentional. I should use that in a game that you're in, though. That would be a...
Yeah, you could. And the beam. As long as you're at Honan, it should be fine.
Oh, the Hero just... So much damage to Jeremy.
That boy is exploding.
Actually only has 2 items, so could be more fed, for sure. How much is he sitting on?
Does he have to be sitting on?
Yeah. Only 800. Oh, he has fully upgraded boots. That's what it is.
Yep, that would do it.
And it's only 23 minutes.
Yeah. That boy's a little strong.
I genuinely do not understand how Brian is down 1 in 5. It doesn't feel like he's died that many times this game. But I mean, clearly.
I think he's just kind of... He's been a little bit... He's kind of
in the wrong place.
Unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wrong place, wrong time. Fortunately, to be fair, also, Inferno's front line is Udyr and Mordekaiser.
Yeah.
Versus,
and both of them have first item Leandries, so...
Right. You're definitely not having... They do both have Leandries. Yeah, so you're definitely not looking to the strongest frontliners, and so, as a consequence, you are just going to be dying naturally more after every single fight.
Yeah, they are pinging onto Hongbaba. The Q has not come out yet. I don't think that's how you're supposed to do that on Renata.
But fortunately, you do have to press the Q after you press F on Renata, not before.
I appreciate the hustle, though. That was almost really cool.
Yep. Almost there.
If that interaction was in the game, it would have been sick. I also think it wouldn't have hit. Like, I think the angle was wrong, too.
No, I think it may have hit, because it was like... I don't know. I don't know
how wide the hitbox is.
Okay,
they're still lurking over their wall, trying to find a pick here. And now Hero goes in. Really good W from Ribbons, but Hero just really showing the minion who's boss. Double objectives are spawning now. I think QC gets their pick of the litter and then gets to fight over the other one. But they're just running at Albert instead. And they have caught him. Does not use the CC immune until it is way too late, and Hero pops him for another kill, and now they're just going to go for Baron. I'd like to see the Zeri get rotated and just take down Dragon, but that is not happening.
Yeah, unfortunately with how strong QC is right now, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Lee Sin just like gets a kick and ends the game. Like if they get any picks or anything of the sort at this point with how ahead they are, I think they may actually just be able to end the game as 5.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I remember Lee Sin's champion spotlight correctly, if he kicks a champion into the Nexus, he instantly wins the game. So, I mean, if he's just able to get through
Yeah.
there,
I guess that, yeah, that could also happen.
yeah. I do think it's really impressive that Hero is able to play the game with his entire screen completely fuzzy and unreadable. Big nerf to Lee Sin.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I hope you know the video I'm referencing, because if not, this like really falls off a cliff.
I get what you're saying. I haven't seen
no.
the video, but I know it's a joke about Lee Sin, I assume.
No, go to watch the Lee Sin, the Blind Monk, April Fool's champion spotlight. It's peak.
It's just like your whole screen fuzzy.
Oh no,
You got,
it's like
blindfold
5
on.
minutes straight of like absolutely amazing jokes. Must watch. League Zoomers do not know,
Sure.
but they're just pushing this one in.
That definitely didn't play with rates, I think. League Zoomers real.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Can you even kill Scott if they're under tower? I don't know. Hong just
I
takes
think-
half his health. Jinx is just free firing. This is rough. Neither ADC is at 3 items yet. They're about even on items. Again, a huge Zeri angle could be good, but now Albert's all has to reset while they have towers being taken in multiple lanes. Brian is not able to win this 1v1. Mid tower goes down. Mid inhib's going to go down. Udyr just dropped a base to try and help out here, but I think you can just walk this down as QC. They have 2 Ocean Drags. They're choosing not to keep the wave alive and just walk up towards top side. Galio pushing in the top wave. Just trying to double inhib here. Should be pretty easy.
Really
You're able to get the dash away.
Over.
Renato comes through, but Hong got tagged by the Q. Has to flash away in order to live. But now Scott's running Brian down again. Ribbons just following up with these ultimates perfectly. And I think they're just going to end the game here.
Yeah, this game is over. I mean, you got Jinx passive going off. You got a pick. That Udyr is depressed.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, those boys are cooked.
Okay, so moral of the story here is ban your opponent jungler one tricks so they don't both get MVPs, right? Okay.
I think that would most certainly be the move. I definitely don't think it's a good idea to give anybody their one tricks, really.
Yeah, and again, this is another game where jungler has just the highest KP in the game. So, I mean, I got to give it to Hero, man.
I did get some...
No deaths?
Yeah. I mean, Galio has no deaths. Yeah, Galio has some really good wombos.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kage played great. I think Hero had more impact.
Right. That's fair. And I think, I mean, honestly, I think everybody on QC did play really well. So it's like everybody did something that I think deserves MVPs. I mean, Renato had really good ults. Jinx did what Jinx does best. Galio also followed up with his ultimate really well. Played a really good front line. Lee Sin was exploding everybody. I've never heard of the Scott Pilgrims guy. I'm sorry. I don't got anything for you. But yeah, other than that, I definitely also think Lee Sin does deserve the MVP.
Yeah, I mean, everyone on QC played great. We saw 9 amazing players on QC. I forget who we didn't get to watch. There's so many people on that team. It is hard to keep track of. I'm actually going to pull it up so I'm not like an ass and just ignoring someone. I know we used to do a thing a while back where we shouted out like the most valuable player on the team. That Alec was the one we didn't get to see. We shouted out someone on the losing team that I feel like played a great series. I think Omar had 2 great games. I feel like there are just a couple things that you can improve on there, but definitely want to give him a shout out. I feel like if we just create a 3rd game out of thin air, I feel like he deserves something there. Especially with the solo bolo going down. But I mean, QC, just incredible series, really clean, crisp 2-0 coming out from them. I think they have 2 series left over the remaining 2 weeks. I think it's going to be real hard for anyone else to beat them.
Yeah, with the teams that they have left, I definitely agree. I mean, who do they have left? They have
BB
SKT
and
SKT.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, do they have BB? Am I trolling? I think they do.
No, I think they have BB because I think I remember some people
SKT is their
they wanted
last
to, like, rock,
matchup.
paper, scissors. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
QCBB.
yeah. I definitely think it'll be interesting to see how BB goes. If I'm completely honest, I do think SKT will not win to QC. I think QC is a very scary team,
Yeah.
and SKT has a lot of room for improvement. So
Yeah, I just
we'll
really
definitely
like
see
this
how
series
those
could have
work
been
out.
so different if Alberts just cleaned up their drafts a little bit, though. Genuinely, there was a lot of
Oh,
upside coming out from this
absolutely.
team. I am hyped to see some of their series coming up. I'm not
Right.
really
And I
thrilled to have to
like,
play them tomorrow, just to be clear. Like,
yeah, like earnestly, I think had they played game one a little bit more calm, rather than gambling, they probably would have stopped the rest of that game. And for game two, I think the drafts were a little bit sus. I do think the swap was a really good idea, and it was actually a really good response because then you took two very bad matchups and turned it into two relatively good matchups.
yeah, no, I think
Um,
that worked out quite well. And Mord was a
if
really good pick compositionally. I
oh
worry about
yeah,
some of the early round
it's
picks.
right, and well, I mean, Ward was a good pick, but like on the other hand, you do look at their draft and you say, what is our front line? What is our goal here? And so you have Akali diving back, you have Mordekaiser taking someone into a 1v1, and you've got
Udyr
I've already
frontlining
forgot
for
the
Zeri
draft.
Lulu. Hey, it
Yeah,
could work.
Udyr. It could work.
I see the
It could
vision.
work, but
Unfortunately,
you
it
just have to see
didn't.
how it goes. Right. And
But
also, I would like to add Scott Pilgrims. You did play fantastically. I was just,
yeah,
I know who you are.
a
I
little
don't actually,
rough in
but
the early
I know who
game,
you are.
but besides that,
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, junglers don't get junglers a one trade, or
yes,
else they'll get MVP
true.
and beat you up.
Yes. Well,
So
everyone, tune in. I think we're doing podcast tonight. Should be me and Mason again. Back to the OG duo, and then Albert's Inferno versus Rift Sharks is happening, as you can see on your screen. Or no, you just saw on your screen. I have this pulled up twice on September 8th, tomorrow at 8 p.m. So should be a banger.
I wish
But
you guys
thanks for
luck.
watching, and thank you
I
for
hope
the
you lose.
co-cast, Bean. Huge help.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace.